Hello everyone, welcome to our studio today. I'm glad you joined us. Hope you're painting with us. And again, I might say you might not be painting what we're painting because this is a special painting. And this type painting takes a lot more time than just a regular, what I would call a landscape painting. But anyhow, we've got, I think, 5 sessions at least in this month to work on it. And if we don't finish it, we'll go on into another month. Hope you stay with us during the whole process. Anyhow, we were working on the little foot when we left you last week. Let's go back and work a little more on that. I'm going to grab a little, this rose color, mix in, see if that's dark enough. That's pretty good. I'm going to blend it just a little bit before I start adding my shadows and highlights. I'm trying to get that little ankle where it stands out a little bit. So let's do it a little more. I'm going to get a little more rose color and put it over here. Grab a little of the Van Dyke brown. Mix it all with a little flesh color. Let's see if that's dark enough. Sort of like that. Now I haven't looked at the little one I'm copying from because I'm just actually painting a new painting, I guess you'd say. Okay, now that's pretty close to what I want. However, I'm going to rinse it just a little. I want a little bit of highlight. And I may have to get another brush. Let me just grab one. That one. Okay, this is highlight. But I'm grabbing a little the rose color and mixing it with it. Sort of like that. And I won't blend this too much. Just a little bit. Perfect. I'm going to grab this is the smallest little brush that I'm working with today. I'm going to grab that little brush. I'm going to grab a little alizarin crimson and a little rose. I'm going into the Van Dyke brown. I'm making a real dark color here. And then I'm going to lighten it up a little bit, right on the edge. Okay, I'm going to let the foot rest for a minute. Well, before I do that, I want to do my shadow. Now I'm painting this, and we've done a few of these, actually with no background. This is actually going to have a white background. Maybe later on I may come back. Later on I may come back and put a background in it, but right now I'm going to go right back up here just a minute. Okay. Now I may come back later and do some outlining on this, because like I say, this is not a realistic painting, it's a caricature painting. All right. Now we can start about anywhere that we wanted to start. I may start with his shirt. I think it's going to be maybe a white shirt, and then we can work anywhere around that we want to and come on down. So I'm going to stand back up if it's okay. And we'll start with the shirt. Now, for this particular one, we can use a little bit larger brush than this. And I probably, just to get my basic colors on. First of all, let me grab one and say about that size. I'm going to rinse it just a little. And that seems to have a little yellow in it. But we won't worry about it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a little color. Let's come right here. We'll try to stay away from that flesh color, mostly. Now I'm going to grab, I've got a little light blue here. Now, that's a little, and if you notice, like I said, I'm working on a white background. White won't show too much, so I have to have a little off color. And that'll be this color here. I put a little blue in it. Now, I'm going to add just a touch. Hope I can add just a touch of alizarin crimson. Now, I'm not sure that that'll stand out. We may have to add a little bit more. Let's try it and see. Now I'm just going to I think that'll be okay. We will probably go back and add a little bit of shadow on the outside. And I think that'll be okay. Now I tell you, I'm going to add just a little bit touch of linseed oil, because I want it to flow a little bit better than that. You probably can't see where my brush is going, but in a few minutes you will be able to tell. I just want to get it covered so I can blend some color in. Just trying to cover it. No detail yet. And I'll paint right over the little book and the pens that he's got in his pocket. Touch more linseed oil. Okay, we got that. Now, I'm going to go back and mix a little shadow color. And I'm going to lay that brush down. Now the shadow color, I picked up a little alizarin crimson. I'm going to grab a little bit more of my blue. We're getting there. A little bit more of my blue. I'm going to grab a little more crimson. Now I'm not sure that's dark enough. Let's try it and see. Pick up the same brush. Now, I hope you can see that. I could go a little bit darker, but I'm going to work with what we got right now. I'm just adding our shadows. We're getting them. I'm going to grab just a touch linseed oil. We're getting it. Okay, over here I'm going to add some shadow. Let me put some right under here. Now I could use a smaller brush here. A little more linseed oil. We're getting there. Now that's pretty good, but I'm going to add, I think I need it just a touch darker in a couple of areas. And in order to do that, Let me rinse my brush out a little bit. Just a little darker. Now, grab a little more blue. A little more crimson. Maybe a little more crimson. Now I'm going to do some shadow with that color. You may have to lighten it a little bit, but I'm going to grab up a little bit smaller brush. The secret of most of the paintings is the colors. If you get the colors right, you know, most everything else sort of falls in place. That's pretty close to what we want. That's pretty close. All right, we're getting there. Now, I need a little bit right down in there. All right, what do you think? Pretty close. We may go back at a later time and add a little bit more. We're getting there. All right. Well, we've got a couple of minutes left. So I'll tell you what, let's do real quick. I'm not going to put the buttons on there just yet. Maybe do that after it dries even. Anyhow, we had red hair on this fella, and I think we'll do that again. I don't know now, that's red, I tell you. I'm going to make it a little bit oranger. I tell you what, this old salesman here has really had it rough. He's wore his shoes out trying to sell stuff, hasn't he? I guess we're going to have to leave you here. Bad as I hate to. Okay, that's just the start. That's red hair. Hey, I've enjoyed being with you so much. Hope you're enjoying this series. I hope you stay with us the whole series. Anyhow, goodbye and God bless. See you next week.